Welcome to episode 2 of the Rusty Chatters podcast. If you want a break from everyday life, tired of paying bills, tired of politics, tired of religion, or tired of those little fucking kids eating all the groceries in the house, this is the place to be goof, to get away from real life. We're going to start at the table. We're going to introduce ourselves. We actually have the brother of a friend here today. So we're going to go ahead and go in a circle. I'm Russell, or Rusty.
Nobody's calling you Rusty.
Go ahead.
I'm Taylor. Nice to meet everybody.
Yeah, whatever. All right, well, this is Spencer.
Oh, Barry, back at it again.
Yeah, so Barry's trash, just healing up from the clap, getting his antibiotics good. He's ready for today. Go ahead and let you guys know he's super trash today, so it's going to be...
He's busy talking to women with hats on their heads, at the bar.
So we're here in the Floribama, which is a bar on the Florida-Alabama line, and we're doing this thing called mullet toss, where a bunch of rednecks get drunk together and try to throw dead fish as far as they can. And wouldn't you know it, like when you get enough drunk rednecks throwing things, a holiday gets created. See, Fat Tuesday, Mardi Gras, you name it.
It's a whole holiday dedicated to throwing dead, stinky-ass fish.
Dude, you know what?
I know that smell. That smell isn't the fish, man. That's your girl.
We've been here for 2 days now, and I've yet to see anyone throw a fish. I've been just so fucked up for, the past 2 days. Been there, have not seen a fish thrown.
I mean, to be fair, we did sit in the car for 3 fucking hours, just sitting back and spitting shitty ass rhymes.
Oh, dude, we actually got here at 1:30 today. We were already here because we stayed here last night, but we got to our parking spot at 1:30. Pre-game till about 5.
Jesus.
Oh my god, just pre-gaming in the car, just chilling, spitting raps, having a good time. We saw people come and go. These people rode up on the bikes, and some old lady was jigging to our shit, and then she left, and then she came back and jigged to our shit again, and then her old man was like, there's a bar up there, and he was because he was kind of salty because this lady was filling us, because we're not old as fuck.
Want some young bucks.
Yeah, young bucks.
So here's the topic I want to bring up today. Which social media platform do you think destroys the most relationships, and why?
Instagram.
We got one vote for Insta.
I'd have to. I follow you up on Instagram.
Okay.
I'm pretty not into social media that much.
Yeah, same. But I've always said Snapchat, but everybody says, well, it goes away.
Yeah,
all
I feel
those.
if anything, it'd be Snapchat.
So all those Vina pics that you send go away pretty quick, so no big deal. But
it doesn't matter. But if I want to send a picture of my butthole to somebody.
Snapchat's the way to go.
I would send it in Snapchat because you would only have it for a short period of time. You wouldn't have it forever.
And you would know if they tried to,
And I would know it if they kept it. It's not like sending it like I was gonna text you a picture.
Not that you could do anything if they kept it. I mean, oh well.
There's not, but I would know.
You would know.
I would know. This motherfucker over here got a picture of my starfish.
So gross, dude.
Well, here's the thing about Instagram, though. See, Instagram has fixed it up for the fellas in a way.
Instagram creates a standard that no one can hold.
Well, here's the thing.
You guys holler at bitches on Instagram?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
It doesn't matter.
A picture that isn't real on Instagram.
There's no way you're gonna holler at a bitch on Instagram.
No, but that's not the point. But the whole thing is so used to, you could see what everybody else was liking, right? You go to your likes page or whatever, and you'll see, oh, so and so liked these big ass titties. And you'd figure it out, and everybody knows it's public knowledge. So back then, you'd be on there, and your girlfriend or whatever be liking some big old buff dude or whatever, some slobby hoe. I mean, it doesn't matter.
We go to the bar
and you
tonight.
can see it. What?
We could go to the bar tonight and look at some big ass titties.
We've already been to the bar.
Hey, so I'm going to tell you about the best Snapchat I ever got of all time from my boy Spencer across the table. So I'm sitting there, and I can't remember what I was doing, but it was in a place where I wasn't ready to receive an inappropriate snap, where there's some shoulder peekers, that type by where some. I know. So I'm just sitting there chilling, and I know where I get this Snapchat, and it's Spencer, with lockers behind him. I see all the little combinations you can rotate and stuff, and he just looks at me, and he's nodding his head. And he pans his phone slightly to the left. It's like a selfie thing. He pans it slightly to the left. And I just see this old dude's ass cheeks right 6 inches from his face, and he's getting undressed. And Spencer just pans back and shakes his head. This old dude didn't have the decency to walk 6 feet at least. This guy was
dude.
right.
Dude, old people don't give a fuck at the.
When you get that
freaking-
senior
Dude.
citizen discount, man, you're showing everybody to meet. You know what I mean?
Oh man, dude, if you senior citizen discount at the old Golden Corral, the world's your oyster.
The Golden Corral. Oh, it's fucking gross, dude.
But
Oh.
for real though, no, I was sitting there, you know, I just got done my workout, doing what I was doing, and the next thing I know, like this old guy comes up to me. I'm just like sitting like at the locker, just chilling, minding my business. Next thing I know, this old dude just drops trowel. Like I'm shoulder to shoulder with this guy. Well, shoulder to pelvis, but I mean.
Oh, jeez.
Oh. Got, like, he's like,
And I'm just like,
he's eye to eye with that man.
and
fucking
it's just like
talking
his
ball.
old saggy dingaling and nuts, you know, just sitting there, just flapping in the AC wind, I guess.
Oh.
I don't know. And I'm just like, this dude obviously doesn't give a shit. So I was like, you know what, I'm sending this to my boys. And so I got this whole like hanging nutsack right in my left or whatever, and I just take a little selfie Snapchat, give the old pan,
So that's
boom, old balls right there.
so that's one of my favorite Planet Fitness stories. But my favorite, because I was at Planet, obviously, where the dudes, you know, don't give a damn in the locker room. But so my favorite one was where me and Spencer just hit a workout, and we walked into the bathroom, and we were walking together. Like, I just gotta take a piss. I gotta take a piss. Just pre-workout's got me geeking, scratching my neck, looking like a junkie and shit. So we walk in there, and Spencer looks and he sees the guy's feet in the stall. And
No, he was in the urinal.
You know, he was in the urinal. Yeah, he was in the urinal. He's standing at the urinal. He had, you know, Beats headphones, like these big headphones. And he had his phone sitting by the sink. Like he set it down and he went to take a piss. So when he set it there, it was still playing. And Spencer's like, watch this. He looks down and he sees it still playing. And it's, you know, he just presses the pause button. You hear, hey, motherfucker. What?
Yeah, this
What,
dude's
yeah.
sitting there like dick in hand. Don't know
Yeah,
what
just-
the
he's
fuck's
like, hey,
going on,
man,
sitting there
what-
pissing, have a good old time. Old
Yeah.
school dude.
Yeah, he's like, you gonna fuck on my stuff, sucker? He's got like those old, he's got like
Old
those,
Mr. T thing.
he's got
going
those
on.
old, like old man insults, like, hey, sucker, you know? Yeah. But,
Yeah, no, I walked in, and I'm just like, I'm a slave to impulse sometimes. And so I just saw this guy sitting there, dick in hand, you know, headphones on, just like minding his business, taking old pisser. And the next thing I know, I'm like, hey, there's his phone. His phone's open, just for the world and everybody to see. I don't know what he's listening to, some Outcast or some shit.
yeah.
And I'm sitting there watching him. I look at the phone, pause. That dude freaks out. I was like, what the fuck? He didn't know what happened. He takes his headphones off, looks at me. Hey, man, what the fuck? And I was like, hey, man, I'm just messing with you or whatever. I try to like, play it off, move on with my life.
Yeah, it was,
I was like, hey, man, don't touch my shit, man. And I was like, yeah, whatever, man. So I moved on with my life. I'm over there doing like,
You're an asshole, Spencer.
hey, you shut your mouth.
no, and it was funny because the dude follows it around for the rest of our leg workouts. We're doing leg presses, and he's like, hey, man, what makes you think you can touch somebody else's stuff, motherfucker? And he's just sitting there. I was like, man, just go away, man. It was funny. He's like, I didn't think it was funny. He just sat there and like sat by Spencer,
Well, see, what happened
exaggerating his
He's
lats the
gonna
whole
whoop
time.
your ass
No,
when that
so what
happens.
happened was I'm sitting there like doing my leg extensions or whatever, just minding my business, and this dude comes up to me. I got my headphones in, Russell's on the side of me, chilling, and then next thing I know, like this, I just see him like out of my peripheral. This old dude, I'm like, I take my headphones off, looking. I was like, what's up, man? He's like, hey, man, why you touch my stuff? I was like, I don't know, man. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah,
And he's like, no, it ain't funny to me. It's funny to you. And I was like, yeah.
it was pretty funny.
And I was like, I laughed, man. And I was like, it's whatever, you know. I was like, I'm not trying to mess with you or like fuck with you. No, it's nothing personal. I was like, bro, your shit was open, and I just paused it. You know,
It was very honest, though. I was like, that's funny. That's why I did it. I'll do it again.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, so Spencer has this really bad issue of like, okay, so everybody knows Spencer is like one of the nicest guys on the planet, but he has a really harsh tone, and he just cursed with a harsh tone. So we go to like a drive-thru or something, and somebody will be like, hey, sir, would you like to try our spicy chicken sandwich special today? He's like, no, and don't ask me again. And he'll just say shit like that, and everybody in the car is all nervous, like, ooh.
It's like, hey, man, that's my
Dude,
food too.
straight
You're
up
about to get
earlier,
spit in.
we went and walked into Rotello's. Literally says, please wait to be seated. We're clearly in there to like eat food. And this bitch was like, oh, you're already dining in because like you could be getting something to go. There's like, yeah, I guess we are, aren't we? And I'm like what the fuck?
Spencer's had so many oysters in his sandwiches over the past few years. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Just
dude,
just some guy in the back. Just,
Oh, that's so strong, man. All the extra protein.
oh,
Nah, but for real though, but I didn't really try to like diffuse that situation with that guy at
Why
the gym
should you?
though. I told him, he's like, hey man, what you gonna do about it? And I was like, well, first of all, I told you I'm sorry and I ain't gonna do it again. I'm just messing with you. You know what I mean? If you can't accept that, it's not my problem. He's like, I think we should talk about this outside. And I was like, no, you can go handle your own shit outside. I'm trying to do my set, trying to make these gains.
Yeah.
And he's like, bro, I said, hey, man, if you can't handle that shit, you move on with your life. And
Yeah.
he's just like, man, sucker, I'll tell you what. Is like,
Sucker.
back in the day, I'll fuck you up or whatever. And I'm like, hey, man, look, I'm trying to just get my gains on. I ain't got time for this shit. And then, he's like, you ain't going to do shit. Like, I never stood up, never did anything. I just sat there.
He's probably listening to some like TLC when he paused it, and then he
Oh,
had
it's
to
a little
like,
river band.
yeah, and then he had to get pepped up, so he pumped on some like I don't know, Run DMC. He's kind of an old head, so he's like, get some, yeah, sucker, you know.
Nah, but for real though, I think
You should have beat him
somewhere-
down. You should have
no.
beat that man down in the parking lot.
nah.
That'd been brutal.
Nah, dude.
You
that'd be
can't
stupid.
fuck with a guy, then beat him
No,
up. Then
I
you just
think
come off as a
somewhere
bully.
in that conversation, he told me he's done time. Somewhere in that conversation.
I done time, man. I done time. I'm ready for
Yeah,
it.
So
this dude was like
Made
all
a
of like
toilet bowl
55, and I'm like sitting here, 24, like 215 pounds, just like shredded. And it's like, you ain't gonna do shit. Not to like, I'm not sitting here trying to like,
You're not prison shredded. You didn't skip leg day.
no, I didn't skip leg day.
So it's just funny because
Then Trey been eating them cold noodles.
yeah,
He's really about it.
I have no,
Brown noodles and cheese
pe-
powder.
people can go to prison. People can go to prison and learn from it, come out better people and all. No shame, stuff happens. But I just think it's funny when like the first thing out of somebody's mouth in a stressful situation is, "I done time.
Yeah,
I done
I had a lady
trespassing, 3rd degree. You don't want to fuck with me."
trespassing.
Yeah.
What you got, Taylor?
I was saying yesterday, I was at the gas station. This lady with no reason for it to ever come up in the conversation. Not one bit. And she's just at the daggone, oh yeah, well, I'm a convicted felon. Why are you telling people, lady?
Yeah.
What was that for?
Some people just
Taylor,
gotta get it
tell us
off their
about the
chest.
time you were almost a convicted felon.
Well, you see, I have an issue with the old IRS. We're not going to get into that. I said some things. They said some things.
They didn't say anything.
Whenever I got there, they said some things.
Okay.
But, I made a post on Facebook just talking a little crap, not thinking nothing of it. And then after a bunch of people carried that off, sharing it around because I said a lot more than I thought I said. And finally, I'm off in North Carolina doing my own thing, not thinking of it. It's like 2 days had passed. And then I get a call from my grandma freaking out. What the hell are these people doing at this house? This man right here wants to talk to you. And he finally answers the phone and says, hey, this is such and such with the FBI. We're wondering where you are. In fact, I answer this phone tells me you already know where I'm at.
Well, tell us what the post say.
Well, I don't know if I can actually say what the post said without getting in trouble again.
Nah, you can say it.
Well, I told,
Nobody listen to this podcast.
yeah, there was a guy in Texas a while back who decided to fly a plane into an IRS building, and honestly, I can think of how that conversation went. Oh, you're taking the keys to my house. I'll bring you keys right now. 3rd floor, right? So, that was all I really referenced in the post was saying, hey man, y'all took $90 from me. This is all this is over. $90. And finally they show up to go kick my ass and take me in, but I'm not there at my grandparents' house. And so they tell me to go to this FBI facility.
Well, here's the thing. Not just the FBI. There was a whole convoy of
I don't
FBI.
know who all was there. I wasn't
No,
there.
no, dude, straight. It was like FBI, ATF, like even IRS people.
So to put things in perspective, these are really nice, sweet, old, retired country people just living life, having fun, and doing what old people do. And then they get knocks on the door about their mid-20s grandson. Yeah, that's a shock to Mama and Papa. Shout out to Mama and Papa.
Shout out.
Yep, they're listening.
Sorry. No, but I finally end up having to go to their thing, and they just pull out files on top of files of people I haven't seen or heard. Some of us like people I haven't seen since like 2nd grade. Hey, do you know any of their affiliations? Well, no. Oh, because I said something about taxation is theft. But they got mad about that, and they were telling me like, hey, this is a group of whoever. They're a bunch of terrorists. This is links to other crap like that. But that was just some people that I had gone to high school with, like buddy Andrew, if you ever. But nothing that I'm affiliated with in any way, shape, or form. The only solace I got out of it was whenever they were like, these are people just here trying to do their jobs and go home at the end of the day. So immediately I was just, well, the Nazis were just trying to do their jobs too. But,
Yeah.
and they didn't like hearing that, but I still somehow got to walk out of that building. No worries.
Yeah, so the moral of the story is,
Don't
Taylor,
talk
stay
shit to
off
the
of
government.
Facebook. Or, yeah, That too.
I can't get on Facebook without getting into some kind of trouble. I'm always talking shit. Anytime I make a post, it stirs up some type of fire, and I gotta say something to some chick. It's just the way it goes.
Some chick with blue hair and a nose
Oh
ring.
my God, that freaking restaurant the other day with the tacos.
Oh yeah.
Tell me about what happened. What happened at the restaurant with tacos?
And I was just sitting there like,
You were just sitting there getting tacos and some chick.
no, there was no chick. It was the waiter was a piece of shit. He stole 20 cents from me, by the way, but that's fine.
Taylor gets into trouble over minuscule amounts of money, by the way.
Yeah, it's like $90, $20, 10 cents.
Yeah,
Ran from the
tacos,
cops.
Two smallest, tiniest, shittiest tacos I'd ever seen that were just the fuck up with like blue cheese and a few other things. It's not a taco.
Zero. It's got lamb in it.
Yeah. But anyways, it was just sad that they tried to charge me $20 or 19 and some change. So I handed them a 20 and they just kept it.
So I'm
Wow.
So I'm going to tell you about how sweet of old people my mom and papa are. So in high school, there was this movie out called Project X, right? And it was this big movie about partying and these kids having this ridiculous party and getting inflatables. There's helicopters, just, classic high school ridiculousness. Me and my buddy have a very close birthday, so we decided to have me and Spencer here, decided to have a dual birthday party. And there's this big pecan field, because like I said, this is retired old people. They got a big piece of land. They've been saving wood for a whole entire year, just stacking it, pushing it, stacking. So it's like almost like Burning Man festival, just waiting to happen in the back. Minus the LSD.
Minus the LSD.
Or Papa's
the
retired.
LSD
He's
is
bored
also
now.
bang-
Considering the people that were there,
There was
there
the
was
LSD.
there was
There was
LSD or
LSD.
shrooms.
Yes.
People were picking shrooms out of the cow shit.
So we
Had to.
So we set up for this party, right? There's this huge fire, and I mean massive fire in this backfield. And I set up this little tent in the back right corner of the property that I thought I was going to, high school me, get to sneak off and clap some cheeks and think about it the next day.
I
And
feel like there was people clapping cheeks on that.
no, there
for
was.
Sure. There was a lot of evidence.
So let me tell you about this party. We got on Facebook and we got on all our social media and we made this big event. We started.
Mainly on Craigslist.
Yeah, Craigslist.
There's no Craigslist.
There's no Craigslist.
Ad for the party.
So we were.
We did have hobo show up.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into the hobo. So we have we send all these people to all these different high schools, these rival high schools, whatever, Florida, Mississippi, and we're in Lower Alabama. Anyway, we end up having about 500 or 600 people show up in this huge pecan field, and there was plenty of room to park, and it looked like a celebrity's funeral in there. I mean, just massive, just cars. And crazy thing was, you're expecting just high schoolers, but there was just a couple random grown folks mingling. And I remember my favorite part.
Some of them were random. A lot of them were freaking parents. They're not,
Yeah, a lot of people
not
with
supposed
parents.
to be there.
Yeah,
Just out there drinking with their kids and stuff.
yeah, doing the
Bad
right thing.
influences.
Doing the right thing, showing them what's up. And
How you do it, boy?
so one of my favorite parts of the party was there was this homeless guy who ended up showing up to the party. He just kind of wandered off the interstate because the location of the house is not too far from the interstate. So he just wanders over. I guess he wanted to impress the kids or whatever. And there was this small, like scalding hot ember, like a burnout log that's had black and like that. You can see the embers in it.
coals in the middle of that fire.
Coals, yeah, it already burned down. And this guy looks at me and he goes, "Hey, man, I bet I'll pick up that log barehanded. Won't even faze me." I'm like, "Dude, I believe you, but you don't have to do that right now." And then out of nowhere, this fucking guy looks at me, looks back, and grabs it, squeezes it, holds it, and he throws it down like he really did something. And looks at me like for approval. And I was like, "Man, let me see your hand." And he shows it, and it's just charred.
Well, see, the thing that guy kept saying is like, "Man, you see those coals right there? This shit ain't hot." I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Man, that shit ain't hot." I'm like, "What the fuck you talking about, man?" And he goes there, grabs a whole handful of coals. Like he's just like holding his hand, like Grinch style, with that that hot bolt in his mouth or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Just like red hot singeing. And he's like, "See that shit, man? This shit ain't hot." And he throws it down. I'm like, "Oh my god!" And his hands all like
got nerve
black and
damage.
charred
I don't feel it.
and completely messed up. And come to find out, now to be fair, this is a homeless man. I don't know how much you can believe from a homeless man, but apparently he raced funny cars out there for like 20 years at like the that Mobile Speedway or whatever. He's like, "Man, I got a big old wreck out there, whatever, killed a whole bunch of nerves in my hand. I can't feel shit." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, you might not be able to feel it, but that'll get infected."
It's still happening, man.
Yeah,
It
it's still happening.
You're
You
not
still
fireproof, dude.
Still got a nice old medium rare steak of a hand right now.
Oh, dude, yeah, he was all proud of it, too. Barry, you were fucking trashed in the corner over there.
Oh,
Barry don't
extra
even remember.
trash.
Barry is just, I mean,
Extra trashed. It's just happy to be alive right now, like awake.
Right now, you're happy to be alive and awake.
Yep. Like I am just fighting to be here. You know what? All I need is a little beer. I'll wake right up.
Barry's using a Slurm
Koozie. I
from like the show
finally
Futurama.
This koozie, man. No one knows what it is. They just think it's like some fucking blue and green koozie with some pink lettering, but it's not. It means something to me. I grew up with that shit, man. I used to watch that like we didn't have cable growing up. You know what I mean? We just had like 3 or 4 or 5 channels.
Oh, man.
What year is
Dude,
this?
Only Saturday morning
let me
cartoons.
tell you something about Saturday morning cartoons, man.
Dude, you don't tell me nothing about no Saturday morning
Bro,
cartoons.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Is probably the only show I've ever gotten to watch from
Yeah,
start to
good
finish
privilege
because of
had that
Saturday
cable.
morning cartoons.
We didn't have no cable,
We
man. We
had
watched it on
local.
WB Kids or Kids WB on
That's
channel
it.
55.
Dude, you
Cyber
motherfuckers
Chase,
growing up
bro.
with baby Looney Tunes, man. You had it all.
I didn't have no baby Looney Tunes.
Swear to God,
man.
you're gonna be talking shit about Dragon Tales.
Dragon
Yeah, don't
Tail.
talk shit about Dragon Tales.
Dragon Tales.
Let's all go.
Dragon Land.
Oh, so I'm gonna tell you. Okay, so remember we just established that our boy Taylor here gets in some trouble. Let me tell you what this guy did one day with a loaded shotgun out on a dirt road where nobody was present. So we had this guy come from Italy. He's in a foreign exchange student, and he's hanging out with some country boys, and he's like shocked. He thinks of America. He thinks of New York City. Next thing you know, he's in Lower Alabama, shooting
Firing off
shotguns.
rounds.
Yeah, just busting rounds on a dirt road. And out of nowhere, Taylor's got a shotgun, and me and all the guy from Italy and Spencer were all sitting in a group just talking. And Taylor starts chasing a butterfly down the road with a shotgun. And he's just like running. And then somehow it changes direction. He flips around and he just whips it around on the group. And
points
everybody
right
hits the
at
points
us.
rise. Everybody hits the deck. Oh, God. And he's just like giggling like, man, I almost got it. I'm like, dude, you almost got us, dude. Yeah, we
He's all, dude.
Yeah.
Just over there laughing and shit.
My bad.
everybody's scared to
mean,
death.
But, okay.
So
I don't know how like, idiotic y'all are with, like, guns as a kid. But so our cousins, idiots, love them to death,
Stupid.
but they're stupid. So so we're up at the farm or whatever. We always go up
They're
there.
better now.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But anyway, so we're up there going turtle blasting in the old pond, or just massacring, turtles just
for
hell.
pest control purposes, people, they eat all your fish. It's mandatory.
Snapping turtles.
So anyway, they're all down there shooting turtles or whatever, and Cody goes out there into the middle of the pond or whatever, picks one up, pulls it out of the water, and is like, "Hey, look at this!" And Steven takes his 7mm .08, blows that turtle right out of Cody's hand. Like, are you serious? And like, Cody freaks out or whatever. Is like, you hear Steven in the background or whatever. Uncle Eric comes out of nowhere and starts whipping Steven's ass or whatever, and he's like, and the whole time he's like getting on to him. He's like, "God damn it, son! I tell you what, that was a damn good shot." Whack.
Yeah, well, that's things like, obviously, parents aren't going to approve of, but man, good for you,
Yeah, good for you.
So just like with that party, we told Mama and Papa, we were like, oh, we're having a little party out back. They were expecting whatever, and all of a sudden they come out and it's just a rager of a party. Kids are drinking.
Mama comes out with like
hot dogs.
7 like
Full-on
sandwiches. They think she's about to feed the party.
Just like this.
Grandma was cooking it up.
It was
Oh, dude.
this sweet old lady walks out. She's like, "Hey guys, I bought some hot dogs. Give me that motherfucking hot dog!" And everybody starts reaching over, and she's all scared. Okay, there's a lot of kids here. Wow.
Dude, they was fighting for them Debbie cakes, man.
Oh, they was fighting.
Yeah.
Oh, she brought the cake.
And,
oh,
Back.
my God.
And these drunk ass dudes trying to grind.
Trying to grind them out. She just kind of looks at them. Okay, I'm gonna get back to my little golf cart and get back up
Dude,
the house.
honestly, the best part about it though is like they can give us like all the shit they want, but deep down they're so proud.
They're proud, man. That
They're
was a
so proud
brazier
that
of a
was their
party.
son through that big
Hands
old party.
down,
Because like every other year or whatever, like Mom and Papa will bring it up or whatever, start saying stuff like, "Y'all ain't never have no party like that again." Because we'll mess with them, and be like, "Hey, Mama, that pile's looking pretty big outside." It's like, "You care if we have a party? We're gonna do it." And she's like, "You ain't never having no party out there again or whatever."
Yep.
And then the whole time she's just like kind of grins, like, "That last time was so crazy" or
Yeah.
whatever, and she's all like giggling,
If-
laughing,
The
just
last
so
time, there was a
proud.
bunch of fights in the last one.
Oh
was
yeah,
all
there was a
riot.
riot
All
broke
got
out.
into fights.
Well, first of all,
Spencer put his hand through someone's car windshield.
so
You
so,
punched
so
through a glass, Spencer?
palmed it.
You pumped through a glass?
So here's the crazy thing about
I
all
didn't
those.
get no fights. I just walked in, walked out.
No, this is the fucked
I
up
was
part.
drunk and weird.
This is the fucked up part about all these fights. So we're walking around these bright orange shirts that say
yeah.
security from Walmart. Next thing I know, riots start breaking out. And as a security guy, you're supposed to like rough them up, throw him down, whatever. I turn around, Taylor has got this drunk boy against the truck beating the shit out of him. I'm talking about, but the guy aggressed him, to be fair. The guy, like, threw a punch at him, and Taylor's like, you want to go with me? Let's go. And he just starts beating the hell out of this poor boy up against the hood.
I was breaking up a fight, and he elbowed me. So I was like, oh, shit, guess I'm in it.
That's not how you be security, folks. All right.
No.
Well, see, the funny part about it is Taylor's taken, like, all his years of, like, bullying out on this, like, one dude. And they just, like, letting him have it.
The kid that got bullied, that got jacked, you know? Get
Just,
some
like,
revenge.
all up in that dude's mouth.
They drew first blood.
Up the next day.
Oh,
Remember
dude, that was the
shit?
best part.
Oh, yeah, he showed up the next day. Like, yeah, he showed up the next day, and he's like, oh, man, I'm here to get my car. And he's got, like, this black eye and busted up face. And we're all just, like, there shaming him. You know what you did, man. That was fucked up. We had to beat your ass, man.
No, what was so
That was
funny
messed
is,
up. And he's
is
just like,
Taylor
yeah.
straight sunned that dude.
He's, yeah. He's not telling him about life. You know, you'll grow up and you'll find a woman and you'll realize that what I've been telling you. You know, you don't treat people the way
Hey,
you
you know
treated
what,
me.
man, you got to learn when to fold them and know when to hold them. It's a good day. Some Kenny Rogers ass shit going on. But it was so funny, is that dude like pulls up, or because he left his car, is what he did, and he had to come all the way back. Somebody dropped him off so he can pick it up. Like, say he's all beaten, bloody, or whatever. And Taylor's like standing there, like, "What's up, man? You here to get your car? Oh yeah, beat your ass for it."
That was so brutal, man.
You really want to get in that driver's seat?
That was like the worst walk of shame I've ever seen. Walking up to the guy that beat you up and like begging, you know, to open the gate.
It's like, "Hey, can I come on your property where you kick my ass and get my vehicle and drive it off your property and hopefully not leave too many ruts?"
That's a brutal night, man. Yeah, it was
I'm
a
gonna take
brutal.
off very softly.
He was real nice after that, you know?
What did it with the cows?
I mean, I'd be nice
Oh,
too.
dude, we put the cows in the little field or whatever.
So yes, so
Dude, not for the second one. They were out there with us. The first one we thought about putting them up. The second one, they were just out there fucking partying with us.
so
Where are they? I don't know
Yes.
the cows.
So first of all, I should like own at least 3 cows as much as I fucking work for his grandparents.
Oh my
Let me
God.
tell you about this guy's grandpa. Like I said,
Sometimes I work for his
dude, like I said, he's the sweetest old man on the planet. But like he sees visitors as working hands, and let me tell you, like they'd invite me over, especially like, "Hey man, you come play some guitar? We practice some stuff." Like, sure. And, you know, Papa will be like, "Spencer, you can get Russell over here and you can play some guitar with him." Nah, honey dick me is what he did. So I get over there, and then I get over there and start playing. We're on the couch 10 minutes here. "Spencer, get down here." And we get down there. Next thing you know, we're go out there and get that cow and yada yada. And the next thing you know, I'm fixing like feed buckets and stuff. And then like 6 hours have passed, and it's like, you know, it's kind of cool. It's hot. It's nighttime. Y'all come on back in and get something to eat. Get something to eat. And he's like, "All right, we got some renovations we gotta do upstairs."
Oh yeah.
Next thing you know, dude, like legit, I had to have an intervention with Papa one day. I was like, Spencer's like, or Papa goes, "I know she ain't been coming over. Spencer said you ain't coming over no more. You mad with me?" Like, "'Cause I always work, Papa. All I do is work." And then he's like, "All right, that's fine." And then, so he had to ease off legit, 'cause like, man, I put in some hours.
Dude, so many of my friends have put in so much
Oh
work.
man, dude, I remember
Oh yeah.
Couldn't have friends
we-
over unless they were
we
working.
used to like literally like no bullshit. We'd walk like 2 miles to Spencer's house from our house.
just
Yeah,
to
they-
borrow the pool.
Yeah, we were gonna go swimming, and like I was like, y'all can get out there and get swimming once y'all pick up all these sticks out in the field. Like 6 hours later.
Just like an old
Sun's
school.
going down. Finally get to hop on the diving board.
That's an old school
Finally on
country
the
grandpa.
board.
Man, we had a baseball practice there because we had a batting cage built at
Oh,
the house.
man.
And Papa was trying to get the team to work and do shit.
Dude, there's so many of like our friends that have like put so much time throughout every summer to like build the upstairs. And what was funny is like growing up, it was really weird. So they didn't believe in like me spending the night somewhere. It's like tell me, "Oh, you can spend the night."
Or
I
they
didn't
would
say
send me
I
to
didn't
get
say
your
you could
ass on the
spend the
floor.
morning too. And so like I'd have my friend come over or whatever, and first thing Papa would do be like, "Hey, I need you to go pick 4 rows of peas and 3 rows of corn or whatever." First thing we do, go out there picking peas, and we had to come back, huck them, shell them, do whatever we got to do. And then we finally get to play video games, go swimming or whatever.
Well,
and
I mean, as soon as we sit down
Look
to
at,
play.
look at your
Get your ass back down here.
dude, Russell. I don't know if you remember this or not. They used to have this deck of cards, like the new lady deck of cards. Like, that
oh
was their
my
shit.
God, yeah.
Dude, oh my god, they used to be upstairs fucking.
Looking at the old like 1986 Playboys.
Oh,
Yeah, it was like 1986
I
like
remember
Playboy like deck of cards, like naked women cards.
Bro, we had
Dude,
the
man,
calendars.
I'll never knew y'all had those.
Dude, so I got the
But what I was
Go ahead.
saying is, So he'd come over, hang out with me or whatever. And then by the end of it, I'd be like, hey, man, can I go stay at old boy's house? And the thing is, he lives like less than a mile just right up the street.
Oh, you talking about Eric?
Yeah. And so we go up there, and I hang out all night, set with him like 4 o'clock playing Halo 3. The next thing I know, we finally pass out or whatever. And then 2 hours later, guess who's knocking on the door, like nudging me to get me up, come home? This guy, Taylor.
On a four-wheeler.
On the four-wheeler, drove up there or whatever. And I'm sitting there like just snoozing. I've only been asleep like 2 hours. Like, hey, Mal said you better get up and come back. We got work to do, or whatever. And I'll be like, I get back. He's like, Mal, I was trying to sleep. I'm tired, or whatever. She's like, I said you could spend the night. I didn't say you could spend the morning. You got things to do. Oh, it was such a task, man. I just want to play Halo.
So, we had a whopping 70 views so far, making it big out there in the world. And some of the people that listen to the podcast, ask how true these stories are. Every bit of them are 100% true. And due to popular requests, I want to touch on the our old friend, our old special needs kid that used to get wildin' back in the school, Charlie.
Oh,
So I have a funny.
I was thinking you were gonna throw out Justin.
No, so I have
We'll get to him, too.
We'll get to him, but I'm gonna tell you a funny Charlie story, and these guys can vouch. I don't know if you So I don't know if you remember, but PE around the track. We'd be walking, and, some people ran. Spencer would be out there just running his mile, whatever. We're all walking, BSing, and old Charlie'd come around, and he'd have his little windbreaker on, a little zip-down windbreaker. He would, there'd be like 4 dudes walking together, shoulder to shoulder, and they're just talking, looking forward. Charlie'd kind of weasel his way in front of them. He'd zip down that jacket, and he'd say, look at my weenie, and he'd flip around, and that kid had a hog on him.
He was fucking, whoa.
Dude, when he was like 12, 13, I was barely hitting puberty, and this kid is like touching mid-thigh. I'm like, Jesus. And I'm like self-conscious, like, man, even the special needs kids got me beat. Wow. And he was proud of it, man. He'd just take that thing out, and he'd grab, like 4 hands on it. He still got half of it bending out at 90 degrees, windmilling it. And he's just like showing everybody. He didn't care, man. He's proud of that thing, and good for him.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Dude, you know what, man? What's what news? Y'all remember?
Oh.
I'm going to censor
If
that
I can
name.
use the full name here. We'll call him Steven. Dude, oh my God, we used to go like this like recess period, like during like back in middle school, and we would always be out like at the football field playing like throwing football, whatever. He always wanted to play. We're like, no, dude, you can't play because we didn't want to tackle him. But he was so about it, man. He was like, no, y'all can hit me, whatever, and like just super out there, man. We'd go out there and just light this man up. It was super fucked up now that we look back at it. We would light that man's world up, dude. But he was a big dude, man. He was big.
Bigger than me, yeah.
Yeah, he was bigger than me for sure, man. I was a little dude. And, man, he would be like, ha! You know what I mean?
Hey.
Oh, I remember one thing. He got loose. He got loose. One time.
He got
And
loose.
he got loose. He was like on the run one
Dude,
day.
you know,
And
they'd be like, on the intercom, can you please come to the office?
Nah, straight up, dude. There was an alert that went out, and it was like, he's missing.
Alert.
Yeah, there's a alert going around. And we were sitting there in like math class or whatever, and old Mr. He'd just be sitting there always drinking his coffee, and he just like stepped out into the hallway and just like looked down the hallway where it tees or whatever. Next thing you know, all you see is doing cartwheels down the other end of the hallway, and Mr. just looked back and was like, we don't see that every day.
And then just closes the door and goes back to class. He's like, no, that's what we got security for. Ain't got a problem. So speaking of football, we had this coach. Looking back at it, said some very
Oh my God.
very don't not drop any names hard because I got to censor like so many names so far. So anyway, there's this coach. We'll call him Coach Murphy. He said some really inappropriate things. Now I look back at it. I mean, I wouldn't take him back because it's really funny. But, dude, he said some things like, my God. Like, I thought I was vulgar as a 15, 16-year-old. Yeah, so one day he was in football practice, and there was this kid, and he would yell at him, and we'll say his name was Cameron, and he'd go, Cameron, when you take off from that ball and go for that quarterback, your ding-ding better be red hot. Your balls better be tight, because let me tell you, if you go next Friday and you ain't ready, them boys gonna rape you. They gonna make your ass bleed like a little schoolgirl. And everybody kind of like, no, man, no. And then it had some some really awkward analogies he used looking back. And there's
when you're blowing through that line, you better have your dick about this high off the ground. Now, Coach, he ain't got to get that low. His dick already about this high off the ground.
Yeah.
That damn line.
Yeah, so he would low-key brag about his meat size. He'd be like, you got to get ding-ding low. Your ding-ding's here. And he'd put it like, mid-thigh. And he'd be like, Coach, so-and-so's.
He was very gracious to me.
Yeah. So he's like, my ding-ding down here. And he'd touch his ankles. I got to get real low. And I was like, whoa, dude. My goodness. Yeah, he's doing good, though. He actually got ran over by a car like 30 miles an hour. He got all beat up.
Oh, my God.
But he's doing better now. He's healed up. But, I love the man. But, yeah, he's just fucking out there directing traffic one day, and somebody just comes hauling ass and smack the poor boy. But, he's back at it now, coaching, probably saying crazy things again. But
as
I
usual.
hope he still
good
stays
for that,
with
man. I
us.
hope he does.
I hope he doesn't change.
So I got one more for you. So this is a really inappropriate comment by my shop teacher. And
Oh, my
this,
God,
so,
that guy.
and one day my shop teacher, there was this really oddball kid in school. His name was. He was a nice kid. He's just a little different.
No, I don't know, man. He rode our bus. He was that like road type guy, just like
Roller bus.
yes, he rode our bus. Him and his older brother. They're just like super.
You wrote a
Yeah, he rode the bus with us. But anyway, he was super backwoods. Like, not to talk bad about like trailer park or anything like that. It's not really that. It was just back in the meth town, and just like road special.
Well, to be fair, so this is the thing. All I'm saying is the boy didn't come from the best upbringing, but he was a good-hearted kid. He tried his best, but he's nice. But anyway, so I go up to the shop teacher one day. I said, "Hey man, did you see old birdhouse? It looked pretty good, huh?" Which it was. It was good because I made a shelf, and I was like, "Man, made a nice little birdhouse with a little wooden thing popped out." And he goes, "Yeah, man, it's pretty good for a retarded boy." And I was like, dude, that is fucked up. You say that to that poor kid. And
What's funny is that guy taught all of our parents. That dude
taught
been there
all of our
forever.
parents, yeah. And I'm like, Mr. That's what he is, man. That's what he is. I can't help it. And he just
He can't help it.
Yeah, he'd say stuff. I'm like, dude.
That's awful.
Oh damn.
Yeah, all my favorite teachers were. My favorite teacher in middle school was I got arrested for crack, and then my other favorite teacher in middle school got arrested for soliciting sex in the park.
Are you talking about the lady who drove to Monte Carlo?
The lady with the curly hair, like the female version of Polly
She was
Shore.
the Scholars Bowl teacher.
Yeah, female version of Polly Shore.
Taught language.
Bro,
Yeah.
she got busted for drugs.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
She got
hard
busted for
drugs.
crack.
She was awesome.
Yeah, hard drugs.
Hey, but man,
We
let me
could've
tell you.
seen that. We was all joking about it previous to her getting popped.
But here's the thing, though, man. When you have that much energy and that vibes off of that crack, you got this certain creativity that the kids love. Everybody loved it.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody loved her, though. I mean, she's nice. She just
And the bad part, I don't know what it is about us and our favorite teachers, but our other favorite teacher got busted for soliciting sex to another man.
To the same guy twice.
Twice. Okay,
Dude,
the first time he got caught
Hey.
soliciting sex in a park somewhere.
One
or
of our
whatever.
teachers after high school had sex with another person in my driveway that we went to high school with.
Oh, that's rad, dude.
Yeah, dude, in my driveway, like, it was right there. She was scared to come in. We was all gonna smoke together, but she was like, I don't want to go in because, like, she was a little spooked. So we walked out in the car and smoked with her, and then she came in. Like,
I feel like I know what teacher it was.
but yeah, dude, it was. You probably know what teacher.
Two of them that I can guess of.
Yeah.
Two.
There's two that I could guess on.
Yeah, but man, some of the best teachers do some of the darndest things. But that's okay. They're better people for it, Like, we always talked about music together. I mean, we always talk about like, Jimi Hendrix and stuff. Looking back at it, Janice Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, Led Zeppelin explains a lot that she's on crack and hard drugs. I mean, looking back at her music taste,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it made sense. And Pink Floyd, I mean,
She would just throw whatever was nearby at the kid that was sleeping. She threw a stapler, it bounced right off his head.
he's brutal, man.
Speaking of
Oh,
That big Buzz Lightyear head ass dude.
dude, tell us the story, man.
Dude, it's worse. Like, I don't know what all entirely he actually did. All I know is that he got caught beating his schmeat on multiple occasions in a few different parking lots, and we're just gonna leave that at that. But the best part
Jesus.
about that is the fact that a window tinting company used his mugshot and rap sheet as an ad and threw that all over Facebook. Just, hey,
Did they
come
really?
here, get your windows tinted. You won't have these same problems as this guy.
oh,
Now,
jeez.
what was also so
What a
funny
way to
about
get
that
famous.
is you were telling me that like one time, like as you do, y'all were just like trading like sexual fantasies or whatever.
Oh yeah, and that was one of his fantasies was like, hey, I just want to be in a parking lot and just see some chick walking up, and I just want to whip it the fuck out and just
Jesus.
come get it.
You've been watching too much
I'm
Brazzers.
like, yeah, dude, you seen too much of Fake Taxi.
Fake Taxi. All y'all know what Fake
Dude,
Taxi is.
that boy.
Barry, you gotta speak into the mic, bro. You're too trashed.
He's all one shape from his head to his toes. Dude,
Dropping some
a lot of names.
a lot of names, but these are all true stories, folks. You know, we've seen our fair share of fuckery in our day.
No.
No, Spencer ain't done fucking. Dude, I've been like in this rapping mindset like all day. We rapped for like 3 hours in the car earlier. We were so fucked up. So I've been like in this like rapping mindset. Like everything I want to do, like
Or
just
you
gonna,
was
like,
rapping
rap
on the
about it.
phone earlier. That had me fucking laughing.
No, that was Michael.
That was Michael.
That was Michael.
Is Michael past that? He's right there.
Dead.
He's right
Yeah,
there.
Michael
Like
passed, fucked out.
he's fucking slumped.
Yeah, because we're like recording this at like, what time is it? Almost is 1 o'clock right
Oh,
now.
dude, we can still go to the bar. We got
Fuck, dude, I
mud
could count
bugs.
5.
Oh yeah, so I got a funny one. Speaking of rowdiness and fuckery, so one time we were at this little concert in downtown Mobile. This place called the Music Box, and there was this band called Attila. It was there. It's like this really heavy metal band. They're kind of trash now, but their first 2 albums are pretty good. There's if you've ever been to a heavy metal concert, there's mosh pits and stuff. People gather around, and generally speaking, if you're getting in the mosh pit, you're getting bounced around, just pushed. Nobody gets hurt, right? Just kind of push and chest bump.
There's
Yeah,
a
you
few
push.
wackadoos out there that just flail, and I
Yeah.
hate those people.
Yeah, but generally speaking, if you're not in the mosh pit, you're good. But if you're in the outer rings, apparently this night you're in it, because homeboy is right in front of the stage, or one of our buddies, and he's sitting there jamming and kind of like
Right up against the speaker.
right up against the speaker, knuckle bumping the singer and all this, and then out of nowhere the pit, because he's on the outside ring but like close to the singer, all of a sudden the pit like kind of opens up a little bit, and this guy picks up an aluminum trash can and like charges him and just whacks him right on the back of the head, like
he threw it across the room.
huck it. Yeah, WWE style. I'm just expecting like the Hardy Boys to jump off the ladder next and just kick him in the chest. Yeah.
What was so bad about it though? So I'd see out of the corner of my eye this trash can just flying through the air, just boom,
Just
hits
busted
that-
him, dude.
Behind this
Busting.
man, I could have stopped it.
And what was funny about it is, so the trash can like falls all behind him, like Wes is all like, what the fuck or whatever, and like this circle pit starts going, and somebody just happens to look over and see Weston just like standing on the other side of it, and just straight up pushes him over. Tabletop just
Oh,
has with the trash can.
jeez. He got wrecked.
Yeah.
Hey, you just say, what's the big guy, man? Like, I think something like you like just like, I'm gonna bust this dude with a trash can.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
he's a big dude. Like you had to like balls to do.
Yeah,
that.
it's pretty gnarly
And
too.
what was bad about it though is like the second he got up after being like tabletop, where he started swinging.
Oh.
Just any old person, just at any old point. Just ear holing people.
Some
left
pregnant
and right.
ladies like, hey, like,
Yeah, he started ear holing people.
Was that a punching first?
Yeah, he did.
What would you do?
Just pissed off.
Tabletop in a crowd of people you don't know, you're coming up with all the hands.
Oh, gotta redeem yourself somehow. Just like decking old ladies, man. This bitch is jamming out,
Shouldn't have
man.
been here, Doris.
gonna pick the smallest, most
Fuck
least.
out of here, Muriel.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna whip some ass.
Hey Taylor,
Yes.
tell me about the old people at the ball tournament.
The old people at the ball tournament, you talking about I don't understand what it is with everybody in any type of retail or any type of bullshit where you have to deal with customer service. Well, I don't understand it. Everyone wants to come over like, oh, y'all ought to do this type of discount. Everyone has a discount for whatever special reason. And finally, people, I'm just fed up with it at this point. It's like, y'all got a senior citizens discount for this place? And yeah, when this place becomes a Golden Corral, we'll get you up.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is just good. Oh yeah.
Oh man, dude, I've heard it many a time.
Man, I love the children at these things, though, because the kids is just what they say some of the weirdest shit that throws you off. Like, I was standing there working my table, and this kid walking by every bit of anywhere from 5 to 8 years old. You can't tell anymore how these kids look sometimes. But he was carrying this batting bag that was 3 times the size of him, heavy as hell. And the guy that was working with him said, hey, kid, what are you carrying in that bag? The kid just looks up without missing a beat. 2 bodies. And just keeps walking.
Hey, so,
Where are your parents?
hey, so speaking of kids that say like really bad things, there was Spencer knows the story, but one time I was just working at this gas station, And there was this old guy named Bobby who would always come in the gas station, like put quarters in the machine. And I just seen the old fella all day. He's retired, didn't have nothing better to do. And one day, he walks into me and walks in the store and hollers at me. Goes, "Hey man, I'm never gonna babysit my great nephew again." He's about 5. I was like, "Why, dude? What'd he do?" He goes, "He just don't listen to nobody." And on the way in here, we got out the truck and I got one of them old Chevrolets, the hard metal ones. And he slammed the truck, and I said, "Boy, watch that door, man." He goes, "Fuck that truck." And he's like 5. I was like, dude, that was a savage little kid, man, little bastard.
That reminds me of that story. It's just so funny, like the way you say it is when you were out at like Presley's or something like that, and then like this old like meth head dude just like pulls up and says, "Hey man, you got to save me, or whatever. Somebody's coming to whip my ass or whatever."
Oh yeah. So let me tell you about that. This one I don't feel bad for, folks. Not at all. So need the.
The only one you should feel bad for is milkshake and that sign flipper.
Oh, dude, I'll get to that next. But dude, look, dude, that's literally legitimately the worst thing I've done. I know.
Sign flipper.
So yeah, so I'll get to the milkshake bomb after I talk about the guy that got beat up on crutches that I didn't defend. All right. Yeah.
That sounds way worse.
Oh, dude, yeah. So I'm sitting there at this, like, under this bridge at the Mississippi line, just a creek. Let me tell you something. Around here, when there's like a creek with a bridge and people swim in it, some trashy, crazy shit goes down. I'm talking some stuff you'd regret talking about, stuff that'll get your career ended. You know what I'm saying?
Flaring bikini.
Oh, dude. So anyway, so I'm sitting there. Look, so this is what gets crazy. So I'm sitting there and I'm vibing, and all of a sudden this car or truck pulls up. I can't remember. And this old guy gets out on crutches, and he's clearly methed out. He's probably 45, but he's a hard Alabama 45, so he looks like 65 in Minnesota. So in Minnesota, you would think he's like 65, but he's.
I know exactly what you're talking
they
about.
age different like that.
It looks like he's been drinking that Flint, Michigan water.
Yeah, he's like, shout out to Flint.
Shout out to Flint.
So he's got that leathery like skin look, like he never wore sunscreen growing up type.
He worked on roofs.
Just dirty hands. This fella didn't take care of himself. Like, you can have good hygiene regardless of which profession. It's not too much to brush your teeth, fella. But anyway, well, he didn't really have many. But anyway, he comes up to me and he's just talking. He's like, "Hey man," he's just a nice guy and he's in crutches and he's talking. He's like, "Yeah man, I'm out here, yada yada." And he said, "What's your name?" "Russell." And after we had been bullshitting and we introduced, I finally introduced myself, shook his hand after like 4 or 5 minutes conversation. He goes, "Yeah, man, so Russell, so this boy's going to come down this creek here in a minute. He's real mad and he might try to jump on me. You got me?" And I was like, yeah, man. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I was like half-ass giving him a yeah. Like, sure. And so then about that time, it's like, about that time right on cue, dude rolls up in like an old F-150 and just big burly fella. I'm talking burly, like one of them real heavy country boys can just, he can't fight for long, but them few punches he's going to give you, he's knocking somebody like smooth out, like big country boy, So he gets out.
He got that butterbean action.
Butterbeans, yeah. So he gets out of the fucking truck and he's like walking down.
Cornbread fist, man.
Cornbread, like them hams, Christmas ham fists. So he gets down, he got them thick working hands, and he gets down. He's like, "Hey, man, you some bitch." And this guy, like the big dude, walks out, calls him out on crutches. "Hey, you some bitch." That's all he really says. And just,
"I'm going to beat your ass."
"I'm going to beat your ass." And that's all he says. And he goes, bap, hits a fucking guy, and the guy on crutches, smacks his ride. He's like a Jeep or something, I can't remember. He smacks his own little, Jeep Cherokee 92, where the fuck he's driving. He hits it, and he's like, and he's getting his ass beat, and the guy's just like drilling him in the gut and the face, beating his ass against the car. I'm like 6 feet away, just like, ooh, damn. Crutches fell down, he's getting his ass whooped, and I'm like, oh, damn. And he's like, Russell. I'm like, dude, stop calling my name like I know you. I'm not getting in this. I don't want none of this. And like, he's getting his ass beat, and somehow he gets to the back of his Jeep, and he has like somehow has the back window open where he can like reach in. Yeah. And he starts like, the guy beat him up for a minute. He's like talking shit to him, and he's finally like somehow scurries to the back. He's trying to pick up a bat, but he's very uncoordinated and slow at drawing it out. Like he's drawing like a samurai sword, like picking out his bat. And then he takes it out, and then you just hear, he's like trying to get it out, and the guy's just watching him. As soon as he kind of gets it ready, dude just whacks him in the nose. Bop! Drops the fucking bat. He hits the ground, and then like he's on the ground, and the guy just does this kind of big man country boy waddle, like that big sort of bouncer waddle with the neck rolls. You know what I'm saying? Like you ever seen a bouncer in a club that's like mean in business, and they got that kind of stride, big rolls, the lats out,
Big old March of the Penguins.
That big man, that penguin walk. So he walks back up to the truck, and old boy's on the fucking old boy's on the ground. I'm like, hey man, I gotta go, dude. And I just kind of like got in the car and drove away.
Did he say something like, hey man, I thought you had my back? Or...
Yeah. He said something like that. I'm like, dude, I don't know you. And I just kind of like walked away, like, I don't owe you anything, man. I don't know you. For all I know, you could be in crutches because like you were sneaking out the window because you were with old boy's wife. I don't know what the deal was, man. You know. And he wasn't like.
I just love that. No words other than
hey, some
fuck you up,
yeah,
son bitch.
Yeah, just like that. Hey, son bitch, I'm gonna beat your ass, and he gets out.
That's what I like, man. If you're gonna talk shit to somebody, man, you talk shit, and like it's just right at
just
it.
right
man.
to the point. Because it's
Yeah.
funny. It's like he hopped out of the truck. And
There's
like,
like,
oh,
hey, fuck
clearly
you,
in
punch.
crutches.
Yeah.
Crowd and all. Don't give a shit. Just
Oh yeah.
you.
And I just hate how they do it. Like, look at me. Hey, Russell, you got me right. I'm like, dude, no, man, I don't know you.
I'm all of like 17.
Yeah, I'm like 17.
No.
This
Got the hands up, like, no, man.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
get
the
the
old
fuck
man
away.
shit.
I feel like that was at the was it the boat launch, like on the backside.
No,
of
this was a place called. It was a place like Warren Creek, kind of, but it's different.
Oh.
Yeah, it was kind of like that. But it's like Mississippi line. But yeah, that was a rough day, man. And my buddy was there with me, named Daniel.
Was that old Browns Bridge?
Yeah, something like that. But he was there with me, and as the commotion started to happen, my boy Daniel's like, I'm out, and I'm like, nah, man, I kind of want to see this. Guy in crutches with glasses. This guy's angry, big, heavy country boy. This is going to be exciting. You know, something's about to happen here. So, sure enough, it's a one-sided beatdown. But like I said, man, you know, I don't feel bad because, you know, I didn't know the guy. Fuck him. That's what I say.
Russell.
That's what I don't understand. Like, man, me and Spencer were at the bar the other night, and like what's with these dudes? It's like they want to fight somebody. Like, it just won't make any sense. Like we was at the Brickyard, and like these dudes just like randomly get into a fight. Like, I feel like it's all random. Like who goes to the bar like wanting to fist fight somebody?
So
No, there's this one dude.
Go ahead, Spencer.
Okay. So there's this one dude a few years ago. I'm sure he still does it, but I just don't hang out at the bars that much anymore to like know. But apparently, this guy, like, it's just his Thursday night. And this was a Thursday night. Like, why are you getting this rowdy on a Thursday? So there's this dude.
Fucking Thursday.
Oh,
Yeah.
we fist fight on Thursdays.
No, but for real, though. Okay, so it's his thing. So we went to the old Boo Radley's, you know, when it was still around. And this dude would every time get in a fight, get his ass tossed and his ass whipped.
Just like
Every
Packard.
single Thursday, but he knew all the bouncers, and so they just like let him back in, just let him just fuck other people up, just mess around or whatever. So he gets thrown out of the bar like one more time. His shirt's all like ripped and torn or whatever. He like throws it off and he like runs back in to go like get his ass whooped again, I guess. And I was just like, what is this guy doing? This is stupid. So I was like getting irritated, like, you know, just by proxy.
yeah.
Just 'cause I was just there and I saw a shirt on the ground. I just like grabbed that shit or whatever, and I went to next door to the Mediterranean sandwich shop, and I just threw that shit in the trash.
So-
And what was funny is he came out like afterwards or whatever, and he's like, "Hey man, did you see my shirt?" I was like, "Nah, man, I ain't seen that shirt."
Yeah. Hey, the funny thing about it, he would take his shirt off like he's gonna do something. When you take your shirt off in your fight mode, the shirt stays off. It doesn't go back on like until you're done doing your deal. So he'd throw it off, and then he'd go back in the club like, you gotta put it on. Then he'd throw it off, and he just keeps taking it on off. And after Spencer threw his fucking shirt away, he came back out next time with like a Thriller jacket, and I'm like, this fucking guy, yeah, like a Thriller jacket. I'm like,
Dude, I feel like if you take your shirt off, like you're about to get into a fight, like you're about to get your ass.
but here's the thing, the dude,
Everybody that takes their shirt
Dude,
off in a fight gets their ass.
the dude at the sandwich shop was like, yeah, man, it's Thursday, it's college night. He does this every Thursday. He gets beat up. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, he aggresses people. He gets beat up, and he's like, hey, I've had enough, and then that's it. Like
he
he
just goes home.
He had a black eye that night. He was fighting with a black eye. Like he's clearly not a winner, but
No.
dude,
He's still getting the cage at that.
he's eventually gonna figure it out, man. He's eventually gonna be throwing good hands.
some people were just born losers, man. Poor guy.